Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. Got week 16 in the NFL and the Tutties and a turnaround. We're going to call it the Tutty Turnaround Show today. Dieter, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing great, Josh, but now I feel a lot of pressure on my shoulders here to get these right.
It would be nice.
I consistently get them right. It seems like this is a you problem.
Yeah, no, look, I'm looking in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror here, and I'm not liking what I see. This is how we did last week. Brian Robinson Jr., that was stupid. Isaiah Pacheco, yeah, spelled wrong, too. Maybe that's the problem. He's only got one A.
Yeah, I can't believe they gave you a number on a guy who doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's the problem is I was betting on Isaiah, not Isaiah. Then Tyreek, that Miami offense was putrid, even despite the bad pass defense for D'Amico Ryan's squad. And then it's Jake Ferguson and Trey McBride can go just somewhere else with these bets. We're not.
By the way, Trey McBride plus 125, so still hasn't gotten a touchdown. The odds keep shortening.
Because he has like 4 red zone targets again.
I know. Maybe this is the week. Maybe we just, forget it. I'm going with 4. We're going Trey McBride again.
No, I won't allow it. Okay. Veto.
Well, can we go to someone that we're constantly on and has proven us so well? Josh, can you explain to me why Jackson Smith-Njigba is plus 200 to score a touchdown in this upcoming football game that he's about to play? Because I sure as hell can't.
I cannot, John Gruden. Why don't you explain to me about it? This upcoming football game that he's about to play.
Well, that's more Howard Cosell than anything. But listen, Gino's playing. I don't know what good that's going to do anybody. But the Vikings pass defense, susceptible, right? They are a chaos team. They play a lot of zone behind. You can get them. They've been gotten. And Jackson Smith-Njigba is unquestionably, without a doubt, the number 1 receiver on the Seattle Seahawks. And I think they're going to be in a game where they're going to have to be throwing the football. So you're giving me, in some cases, it's not quite 2-1, but I saw 2-1 in a couple spots. Like on this guy who's got 12 targets in the last game, who has just been an absolute monster and is now the focal point of this offense where the rushing game, you don't really know who's back there on any given week. Excuse me. I'll be taking Jackson Smith-Njigba to score a touchdown.
Absolutely. I like all of his stuff continuously. Anything around 60 and a half, I'm good with. They're going to have to throw. This is a team that's been throwing all season. I like an under for Kenneth Skywalker, the third. I love that.
Just because Charbonnet is busted out a little bit.
Charbonnet makes more sense, especially against the Vikes. They're not going to be big holes down the middle for this team to run. They haven't been all season. This run blocking is
it's a bad offense.
Atrocious.
They're playing Laken Tomlinson. That's all you need to know.
Oh my Lord. I was covering the 49ers when Laken Tomlinson was drafted, I believe 5th round. But yes, it's not good. All over the place there with Jackson Smith. I like that look. I like the fate of the RBs. They're going to have to throw. That's the script against the Vikes. They're going to be leading again. The Vikes are always leading in the first half. I believe they're still 3rd in terms of the amount of time per game that they are with a lead. So this isn't going to be any neutral kind of stuff for a Seattle team that already passes whatever it is, 57% of the time or what have you. So love that look there for JSN. A tutty I really wanted to take was going to be Caleb Williams, who we talked about in player props. I think he'll get there. But what's an interesting one too for me would be Joey B. I'm just going to keep going back to him. There's no reason not to like Joe Burrow's passing touchdown.
It's embarrassing, Josh. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is. I agree. I took 3 last week. This week you can get the 1.5. It's always going to be great on Prize Picks. Minus 200 for 1.5. It's basically do you want to take Derrick Henry to get a rushing touchdown? And it's kind of well, yeah, I do. Whatever I have to do. But if you want the alt line here for 3+ for him as well, it's still an EV bet at 2-1. This is all he's done in the recent history of this season.
There's no alternative.
There's nothing. Here's another sexy bet potentially.
Okay.
What about under 280 combined passing yards for Joey B combined with the 2 tutties? You're going to get some really nice negative correlation there. I think the tutties are very light. The only way that you get screwed on the under passing, to be honest, because I don't know, they're not going to have to do much against the Browns, to be honest, this week in DTR. So positive game script. Now the Bengals can't run. It's a risky one. That's why it's a dart throw. But if I was going to take a little lotto ticket here, I'd go 3+ for him and then add the under yards for him perhaps. But either way you cut it, I'm fine even at 2-1 for 3 passing tutties for this man.
That's a fascinating negative correlation. Very rarely does that happen. You can get some mad plus on that. I don't think I like it though.
I think
it's even too negative for plus money Dieter here.
Yep. We found a way to make Dieter risk averse. I can't believe it. I'm so proud of us. All right, what's your second tutty play?
Let's talk about Jerome Ford. Hell of a running back. And, let's just stick in this game. Like, Cleveland's got to do something. They sure as hell ain't going to be able to pass it.
Yeah.
So what do? You give the ball to your sole running back, Jerome Ford, and you're giving me plus 125 for him to score a touchdown. If the Browns get into the end zone, you got to think it's going to be Jerome Ford getting it done. So,
what's
it's
up with
pretty
Nick
straightforward.
I haven't heard much about him this week. I was trying to look back up.
He's got it. He's broken.
As long as this team isn't serious about trying to win games, there's no point in having him out there, right? So I've been saying this since he came back. Like 2025, go ahead and draft Nick Chubb on your fantasy teams and all that. But this just isn't.
They put him on IR this week.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So he's officially done. Cool.
He's done.
I figured that he wasn't going to be involved at all. And this is a bad rush defense entirely. You also mentioned that a little bit, but I mean, in terms of the touchdowns to running backs, 22nd. In terms of the rush yards to running backs, I believe we're at like second or third worst. This team is up there with the Saints and the Giants for just worst rush defenses in the league. You've got to like Jerome Ford, even in a negative game script and being a part of the passing game as well. I love that little running back, man. He's awesome.
He's rock solid. He's one of the best number 2 running backs in the NFL.
Easy.
This is, again, plus money. That has more to do with Dorian Thompson-Robinson than it does Ford. Right. I think they get in the end zone once. So, hey, here we are.
I like it as well. So you talked about Ricky Pearsall. I have one potential look for you from that game as well.
Ooh, love it.
Just got kicked out of my notes. I'm just going to go back to a man who's rewarded me 3 times this season, and those are the only games he scored touchdowns in.
Wow.
And his name is Jawan, and it's spelled J-A-U, everybody. Jawan. Jennings found that out.
Jawan.
I love this dude. First of all, I'm still down for plus 150. I was looking at plus 165. They don't seem to have a lot of stuff pulling through for the tutties right now on Outlier, even though they're clearly available on books.
Right.
So on the DFS apps, you can get this plus 150, but this should still be closer to plus 185 on like DK or FD in those areas. So that's what I'm taking Jennings for in this one. So this game against the Dolphins is always interesting. You got Kyle going up against the predecessors or whatever, the
protege,
protege. Thank you.
Yeah.
The proteges here, Mike McDaniel. I where I'm at with Jennings and this pass game entirely is just like they can't. Who's running back? Who are they going to hand the ball off to anymore? I guess
his name is Patrick Taylor. He is a non-playable player in most video games.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they might give it to Debo, which is just about the worst play in the NFL this year.
That's exactly right. So I'm basically like, this is a Jennings and Pearsall game. To your point, I was considering Pearsall. I just like stuff on the outside against Miami, and they have regressed a ton. They got Nico in the end zone last week. That's 5 TDs to wide receivers now in their last 3 games. I'm making sure my notes are right. They are right. It's going to be a lot more targets to him once you get inside the red zone. I love that look. When you look at him and his share, once he gets in there, looking at 2 red zone targets per game when he's out there without injuries. I think we're over the give the ball to Debo in short spaces.
Jesus, I said that 5 weeks ago, but here we are.
We're over it. I don't know for sure. Kyle's pretty stubborn sometimes, but either way, yeah, I think Jawan Jennings is the guy close to 2-1 for this squad. And obviously Kittle's always there. Is Kittle banged up this week? I thought there was a hammy thing.
Kittle should be a-okay.
Didn't come up with a hammy. That's fine. He's going to be good, but you're going to get worse money for him at this point because he's just such a stud. So I'm going with Jennings.
Yeah, I have no disagreement on that. He is Brock Purdy is funneling him the football in the pass game. Precisely. Is that the best idea? Probably not. But, good if you got 2-1 on him.
Yeah, that's what he's got. And I think they'll just be much more susceptible, I guess, than the Rams. I thought the Rams would be a bit more susceptible.
It was raining. Brock Purdy has tiny hands, smells like cabbage.
Like the carnies. What's your third tutty play, man? Because and if you need some Tylenol because your back's hurting from carrying the show in the touchdown department, I understand.
Now I'm used to carrying things. DeAndre Swift. We're going back. Okay. We're coming back, and I think that the Detroit defense is a incredible opportunity. You're giving me. I saw plus 130.
Yeah, this is only right now. I think what's happening is during this exact show, the only thing that's pulling through on Outlier right now for whatever reason is the DFS apps.
You should do that though.
Yeah, but if you get 3-1, you have to add it to a parlay, but it's still worth it.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful leg. So
they have
decided.
This is
first half tutties, dude. That's why. My bad. Everybody. but it's still I'm still right. They're not pulling through, but plus 130 is more accurate. So
yeah, that's what I saw. So I am of the oh shit. Now maybe I want to take the first half tutty. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it now. That seems like incredible value.
Ooh, very aroused.
You're giving me 3-1 opposed to 125. I know that there are 2 halves in a football game. That should be somewhere around 250 as opposed to. Seems like there's some value there, Josh. Regardless, this is their primary running back now, and for better or for worse, with an offense that is not going to push the ball downfield and an offense that is going to have a lot of man-to-man defense against them, it feels like a big Swift opportunity, not just as, I didn't want to go rushing yards or anything because I do think that they could swing it to him out of the backfield a bunch. I think that's probably going to be a focal point of their game, and maybe that's the one that gets in, but he's the bell cow on this team right now for whatever that's worth, and you're giving me plus money on a bell cow back. Same logic with Ford. If they get in, it's going to be him.
Yeah. If they get in, it's going to be him. Yeah, that's it. And I mean, this is a very good pass defense or rush defense rather, but you can still get the receiving touchdown for DeAndre as well.
They're so banged up. They're so I don't know what they are anymore, but what they were is certainly not what they are.
Yeah. They are not who we thought they were anymore, perhaps is fair to say. I'm going to close this. I have no notes on this one. Like we're throwing stuff at the board. I think this one sticks. The running back that I'll go with, I still get the plus money. I did this a few weeks ago, and it's Rashad White with 2 A's at the end. Because for Rashad if you want to take Bucky, I think you might as well take 2. We're talking about Dallas. I'm keying in on the running back against Dallas. And look, although Bucky is the man at this point, and next season is Bucky season for sure in Tampa, like Rashad is still around and getting 7 touches inside the red zone in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. So he's still getting some goal line touches and the RZ looks, and he's getting entire drives to himself. So it's just that. Like I think they both score in this game, to be honest. Baker, if he feels like rushing, will get his, but he probably won't even need to or get flushed out of the pocket. So I think the rushing you keep to the RBs, and if you like the attempts for Rashad White at about 10 or so, which I think that's reasonable. I think probably 8 to 9 is a good projection for him. Like that's going to be roughly 2 to 3 drives that he's going to be the lead back, and then you're going to get some of those red zone touches as well.
Yeah, I just think with Bucky's injury, they're going to be a bit more cautious with him moving forward. They do have the playoffs to worry about. Remember how that happened. And they've been given Rashad probably an outsized amount of workload anyway. So a good week to be in on Rashad White, all things considered. Now, I will note, who's the third running back there?
I always forget. Sean Tucker, yeah. Sean Tucker. Another brilliant name.
Might be worth a sprinkle.
Okay.
Because if Tampa goes up big, White is a pass catcher, right? They might still go with him, but they might also say, okay, well, we don't want to ride Bucky here for in vain. So let's go to Tucker for a couple, a series or 2, or maybe even a quarter or 2 in the second half. So if you can find it, maybe something to get in on.
There will be something there. Yeah, there'll be something for Sean Tucker, I think, especially with, like you said, a bit of the banged upness to Bucky. And while
that's a game script in, game script out situation.
Yep, I like it. Cool. We're gonna have a better week in the tutties this week for sure, and at least we got the plus money to handle us. And obviously, I'm talking about myself. Yes, Dieter can just continue his pace, torridly speaking, and I'll step it up. So make sure you check out the Play a Props episode that we also have up for you guys. We will be back for you as soon as we can. We'll see you about next week.
Who the hell knows when that's gonna happen?
Crest miss. I can't. I don't even know what day it is.
It might be a week 18 extravaganza, Lander.
Can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. All right, cool. All right, best of luck this week to everybody, and until we see you next time, happy.